I can't overreact, but I mean the Tigers blow. Like they're awful. And look, it's 6-10. You can erase it by going 10-6 and get back to square one. Like that's the reality, and I keep telling myself that. But I mean, look, last night I'm going to focus more on the offense because there's nothing I can say about that last play that hasn't been said on our airwaves. I mean, it was Little League, Keystone Cops, craziness.
It felt like shades of, what was it, the 2006 World Series where they just couldn't throw the ball back to the pitcher and it was a comedy of errors.
Yeah. They also got dominated by Anthony Reyes and his flat brim. But no, I just, look, they're a bad defensive team. There's just no other way around it. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and go, well, you know, did Grossman take a bad line to the ball? Was he loafing? Was he not? What was Haas doing? Look, it was bad all around. I think for me, last night, you know, sometimes when you hear announcers say something and it takes a second to sink in where you're like, wait, did I just hear that right? So last night I was watching the broadcast and it was said that the Tigers had gone 10 games without a home run.
Wait, what?
The Tigers had gone 10 games without home run. So it sent me down the rabbit hole because, you know, while I was watching the Tiger game, I work in Detroit. No, I'm not prioritizing Yankees and Orioles, even though the Yanks are my team. But Anthony Rizzo hit a couple of home runs last night at the time I started looking. He went on to hit a third, but work with me on two. So I said, geez, I know the Tigers have been bad offensively and they've been bad power-wise, but 10 games without one, and I saw how many home runs they had as a team total. The same number as Ty France for the Seattle Mariners. 6. Anthony Rizzo has 8. The Tigers now at the conclusion of their game as a team have 7. 7 home runs on April 27th. 16 games into a season.
Well, in all fairness, Baez was on the he was out for a little bit.
I must have missed that where he's going to hit 60, huh?
Well, he was their power hitter.
Man, come on. Candelario's got power. Torque's got power.
Well, he was the only one hitting.
Grossman can get to 20 bombs.
He was the only one actually doing it.
Okay, well, then that makes my point even better. This lineup's a joke. Like, I get it, home runs are down. I understand the Tigers aren't murderers row. You got to be better than this. This is crazy. And look, Baez tried to give him a reprieve last night. Baldelli went full Baldelli. I don't know what you're doing bringing Pagan in the game when he's got like 15 relievers better than Emilio Pagan. But Baez crushed that ball. You got a reprieve. You got a little bit of power after getting dominated by Chris Paddock, by getting, you know, beat on. And then that happened in the bottom of the ninth. And it's like they're 6-10. They got a trip to the Dodgers coming up here in like 10 minutes. Minnesota's on a little bit of a run. All I will tell you is this. I'm not going crazy. I'm not panicking. But there is a disappointment. There is a pessimism based on they were 6-10 last year. They're 6-10 again. And no, I'm not going to sit here telling you it's going to spiral like last year. I don't think that's honest, and I don't feel that way. But you have to recognize in baseball, let's say 6-10 turns into 7-14. Guys, it's going to take you the better part of 2 months to make up for that. Unless you just catch fire over 20 games and do one of those 16-4 runs. Like, they're not good enough to start out in a hole again if competing for the playoffs is the goal. They don't have that kind of margin. You know, now look, some of these other teams, they can, like the Red Sox have gotten off to a slow start. Do I still think they could end up winning 90? Yeah. Sure. You know, Blue Jays aren't playing great. Okay, maybe. But, like,
I'm not that concerned over the Braves. You're right.
Yeah, like the Braves is a great example. You look at it and you go, all right, yes, I wish they were playing better, but I know the talent base is here. So, look, there's nothing I could say about that last play. You watched it. You were upset by it. You couldn't believe it. What is there to say? I'm not going to break this down like Tom Amansky baseball videos. But I do want to know where you're at with the Tigers here, basically a month into the season.
Can I wear the Fred McGriff hat?
Hold on. This is the instructional video that gets results. That's Fred McGriff when it's time to do a read. Right over there. If you put a flat for him up on David's head and he just stared at you and went, it is time to do a read, that's Fred McGriff from the Amansky videos. And then do an overlay of Kenny throwing a baseball into a garbage can. You'd have it. But, I mean, like, where are you at? You're basically a month into the season. They're not playing good baseball. I think the highlight of the team has been the one thing that's probably at the end of the year going to be their Achilles heel, the bullpen. It's actually been pretty good. But starters have not been overwhelming.
No, the highlights of the team, Mike, I would have to say.
Their offense sucks.
Well, but your two additions that you got in Meadows and Baez, fun to watch, timely hits. In your victories, they've scored the runs for you. Even last night, it looked like Baez was going to be the hero with the 3-1 homer in the top of the eighth. Those two looks like money well spent. Chris Illich, Al Avila, you did a good job picking up that. But your homegrown stuff?
That's the whole point.
Not
like
there.
I said this to a friend of mine. I go, look, the loyalists will tell you they're 5 years into a rebuild. I could tell you it's been as many as 7. My point is, how, after a minimum of 5 years, can this be the lineup you put out there? I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of looking at it. And it's just frustrating because then you get to the point of realizing how much you're leaning on Torque and Green. And that just tells you. I mean, to me, look, they can dig out of this. They can play some better baseball, but they got to be careful. Because, yeah, the goal this year was, can they get to September 1st, get to Labor Day weekend, be 4, 5, 6 games out of the wild card, and give us something to watch? Well, if you want to be in that spot, you can't put yourself in a huge hole. It's not huge yet, but I don't like the way they're playing at all. And offensively, it's morbid. That's the best way I can put it. You cannot have 6, 7 home runs in a month of baseball. Can't have it.